This is another live radio link-up brought to you by the Government Communications GCIS.
Time has gone 5 minutes after the hour, 6 o'clock, and it's a very good evening to you and welcome to it. Our special broadcast brought to you courtesy of Government Communication and Information System together with the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, MyNSFAS, and that's how we're going to be calling it for the rest of this evening. Welcome to it. My name is Karabo Lance. Glad to be in your company for the next coming hour. We're going to be talking about issues relating to financial aid for students that are going to be going into their tertiary education system. And our discussion tonight will be all things MyNSFAS, particularly about applications for 2017 funding, as well as the different things that MyNSFAS covers for those students who have successfully applied. Now, we all know that it's crunch time at the moment. And more and more students want to register with universities and TVET colleges and so forth, and have applied for MyNSFAS financial support, and while others are still going to do so. So MyNSFAS has also announced that tomorrow, which is going to be the 20th of January, funding applications for students who wish to study at universities will close at midnight. So that's going to be happening tomorrow, the 20th of January, midnight. Applications for funding for students wishing to study at universities will close at midnight, while for those who want to study at TVET colleges, applications will close on the 14th of February 2017. You can mark it on Valentine's Day. Hopefully you're not going to forget that one day. So the 14th of Feb, that's the closing date for TVET colleges, application for financial aid for those students there. So may I take this opportunity to let you know, or to just inform you of our toll-free number. It's very easy. It's 0800 142 446. Let me say it a bit slower so you can write it down a little bit. 0800 142 446. And I think our producer is going to be having a handful of questions this evening, taking into consideration the amount of students that I want to take part in the show this evening. So we're looking forward to be hearing from you. Interact with us with any questions or comment. You're more than welcome to send them through that toll-free number. It's toll-free if you're going to be calling from a landline, telecom line. If you're going to be calling from a cell phone, all you got to do is to take your cell phone, call us. We'll take your details down and call you back, in that way saving you costs. 0800 142 446. Let me introduce you to our guests for this evening from MyNSFAS, who are with us in the studio, and we'll be taking your calls after they have shared important information that they have for us. We have Mr. Kanti Mkungeki, who is a process specialist in loans and bursaries at MyNSFAS. Mr. Kanti Mkungeki, thank you so much for your time and welcome.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to ask you to pull that microphone a bit closer to you. Don't be scared of it. It doesn't bite at all. There we go. So, Mr. Mkungeki, thank you so much for your time there. But he's not alone. We've also got Miss Malika Hildebrand. When I saw this name, I nearly said Malika. And I was fortunate to walk in the studio when they were talking to her there, and I heard somebody say, Malika, have you got your documents? I'm like, okay, that's Malika. So that's where, there we go. Malika Hildebrand, am I correct, Hildebrand? Yes. Yeah, there we go. And she's the SBUX Acquisition and Support Manager at MyNSFAS. SBUX, right?
Yes.
There we go. You see, students know about these things. So there we go. She's the SBUX Acquisition and Support Manager at MyNSFAS. So there we go. 0800 142 446. Let's not waste any further time. Let's give the students, the parents, maybe the lecturers who would like to take part in this evening show some time to ask questions. But before we do that, let's establish the show. All right. So maybe let me start with you, Mr. Tlanti. Let's start with the current burning issue of applications. All right. MyNSFAS has opened a second application phase on the 9th of January and will close for university students, like I said earlier on, tomorrow, the 20th. Now, how is it going so far? Tell us about it.
Thank you, Karabo. Good evening, listeners. Basically, I just want to take a step back, Karabo, if you allow me. So we had the first application window which opened last year from the 1st of August up until the 30th Are we fine now?
Yeah.
Okay. Shall I start again?
Yeah, no, sure,
Okay.
go for it.
Okay, cool. Basically, we had the first application window. We started 1st of August 2016 and closed on the 30th of November 2016. And then obviously now in 2017, because of the challenges that we know in the sector, because some students, they only apply when they've received their results, of the metric results.
Right,
so we
right.
agreed with the university that then we need to kind of open another window in January, which opened on the 9th of January, and it's ending, as you said earlier, it's ending for universities tomorrow, and for TVET it's ending on the 14th of February.
Right.
So that just maybe to give a bit of context. So in the first application window that I explained, we received over 137,000 applications.
Wow.
And I can tell you now, though, in comparison, if you look at in this window that we opened only last week, we've already received over 70,000 applications. So that kind of that gives you a story in terms of like what's happening in the sector out there. So there's more applications that are probably going to be received into this application time as compared to that one. So in total, it's over 206,000 that we have received and have been processed. And I just want one more thing that I want to highlight around the application as well is that even though we're still receiving applications, but we already confirmed over 119,000 as being funded, fully funded to go to university or to TVET colleges this year. So we've still got the applications that are coming through, but we already communicated with the students because we understand the pressures out there. Because some students, especially NSFAS students, they need to they don't have the means to go and pay for registration. So they need to know upfront. So we've already confirmed over 119,000 that can actually go and register at the institution of choice. More importantly as well, what we do with this new student student model is that if you're funded, for instance, at University X, you can actually go and register at University Y. So the money that you get from NSFAS will follow you.
Right.
All you need to do is just need to confirm that you've been admitted.
So it doesn't matter which university it doesn't matter really. Once you get the funding, you can go anywhere.
You can go anywhere as long as you're admitted for academic in that institution. You can go anywhere. So we're just confirming funding. So because regardless where you go, you still need the money. So that's very important to us, and also yes for the students. I mean, I also want to add that what happened as well is that for TVET sector specifically, the reason why we extended the second application window to the 14th is that those students, they usually do not apply. They only apply maybe when they don't get admitted at the university. So we need to make sure that their window is kind of extended. Hence, we're all closing a bit late for them. And the TVET sector is quite an important sector, as our minister always say.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that there's alternative for our students. I think I'll just maybe pause there for now.
Right.
I know there's some challenge that students are going to ask.
Right, it's gone 30 minutes after 6 o'clock. I'm not hearing myself quite properly. Maybe my microphone needs to go a little bit higher there to the sound producer, Linda Mazibugo, on the other side of the studio. If you can push my microphone a little bit higher there so I can sort of hear myself clearly, I really appreciate that. There we go. That's a bit better there. So 13 after 6, 0800 142 446. That's the number to dial if you want to chat with regards to the NSFAS funding. And I know a lot of students were looking forward to this show. I've got students listening all the way from the Eastern Cape, from Forte Community Radio, Forte obviously being from Forte University, and those are students listening to us there. It's a very good evening to you. Would like to hear from you as well. 0800 142 446. That's 0800 142 446. And by the way, okabulela kapole lengwe gore mhlomongwe o kanya ka go bolela ka yona ge le gore o kanya ka go bolela ka sepedi o dumeletse gore ka dia jwalo nomora nna mogala yona ke mphiwa fela le gore tla go sa lefe selo ka nnete 0800 142 446. Ufuna ukukhuluma isiZulu mhlambe nawe ungenza ungashaya ucingo 0800 142 446. Singathanda ukuzwa kuwe ukuthi mhlambe unombuzo lo ufuna ukubuza masizwe kuwe ke mlaleli ukuthi umbuzo wakho uthini. As a Meskinville Afrikansville Biggie Prat. You're more than welcome to do that as well. That's where I'll stop with Afrikaans. So. All right, let's go on. It's the first time really that NSFAS implemented the centralized applications, right? Now, how was the response from students and the administration process within NSFAS during the first application phase last year? Tell us about it.
Okay, just maybe to take a step back. I mean, like, as much as this year we're going big bang everybody, but we've actually started this process in 2013-14.
Wow, yeah.
So we've been piloting it for 3 years, where we kind of made sure that all our lessons are kind of implemented. So we've been doing it for the past 3 years. If you look at institutions like DUT, UNISA, NMMU, Univen, and the 2 new universities in Mpumalanga and Solplaatje, they've been part of this new model, centralized. They've been applying directly to NSFAS, and we've been making funding decisions.
Yeah.
Obviously, over that period, then we looked into the system and tried to refine it, and then we added more colleges as well in 2016. We added 12 more colleges so that we make sure we can test with more kind of like institutions. So basically, we have been testing it over the past 3 years. And I mean, we've had our fair share of challenges this year.
Tell us about those challenges that you've experienced.
I think one more thing, which is probably, I'm not sure it's South African or it's African, is people applying late.
Right.
And one of them is that when we close applications, for instance, on the 30th of November 2016, people only started applying only at the last few days. And obviously, our system then started kind of like having a bit of challenges.
What do you think caused that? I mean, I was thinking about it as well, that why do you leave it so late? I mean, we were encouraged back in the days when I was still in high school. We were encouraged to do the registration and the application of going into your tertiary education run about June even, after what we call the mid-year exams. I don't know if they still do that. But what do you think is the biggest problem that the students are saying the reason why they are playing late?
I think for me, I mean, personally, I think it's more of a culture thing. Because if you look, for instance, if you look, for instance, with the SARS applications or returns, so people only leave for the last time. They say, I still got 2 months, I got a month, whatever it is.
Guilty of that, I can tell you now.
so I'm thinking that's just my view. I think maybe it's a culture thing. Yeah. Because even now, I mean, for instance, we're closing tomorrow for universities. Yeah. But today we had the biggest spike in terms of the application coming through, and I'm sure tomorrow is going to be worse even. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's probably a culture thing. So we're gonna close tomorrow regardless. But we had a lot of challenge around the system kind of performance when there's a high spike, and then whereby now the systems tend to. It didn't crash, but it became a bit too slow.
It becomes heavy,
heavy, and then students obviously start complaining now, and then we kind of revert to manual applications, which is not ideal.
Yeah. Let's learn from these experiences. I mean, we know that when we leave these things, especially when you do all the whole technology thing and you leave it up until late, there's bound to be problems. I mean, we've seen the same thing happen with basic education, where parents were complaining about the system being clogged up. And what was said at the time was that there was just a lot of people trying to make applications all at the same time. And that's the reason why some of these things tend to, if you want to use the word jam, you can do that. They tend to be slow though. So 0800 142 446. Maybe let's start hearing from our listeners and hear what they got to say. Maybe let's start here in Gauteng, in Pretoria. So Shanguven, ke mo re tlebeng re le mo teng gone yanong a re buisane le Mpendulo Dlamini. Mpendulo?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for calling in. What is your question or comment?
I was just asking about financial aid. We've got a problem with the page. I applied earlier on, but then when I check on the dashboard, they say incomplete. But when I try to complete it, and then it says error page. Then I went to university on Wednesday, then they checked us, and they said we've been blocked because we haven't applied for financial aid.
Okay, all right. Mpendulo, thank you so much. We've captured your question, and I would ask our guests to respond to it shortly. So keep on listening to your radio. Let's go all the way to Cape Town, my favorite city. There we go. Not that Pretoria is not my favorite. And is a shot. Yeah, there will be problems now. Okay, let's go to Cape Town. All the way to Mkenye. All the way to? All the way to?
Hello.
Sabona sis.
Someone always from a Cape Town. Numbers now, status some city is still awaiting for evaluation. So if you know that is it possible university land apply for your registration on Monday on the 23rd.
All right. I think we've captured that as well. All right, thank you so much. Keep on listening to your radio. We'll definitely tackle your questions now shortly. 20 minutes after 6 o'clock. Welcome to it. If you've just joined us, this is a live interactive broadcast brought to you courtesy of Government Communication and Information System, the GCIS, together with the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, call it the MyNSFAS. So there we go, trying to give you all the information that you need with regards to matters relating to MyNSFAS funding then. So maybe let's start with Malika. I haven't forgotten about you.
Hope not.
Malika is giving me a look, and it's that look that says I'm here as well. Please make sure that, don't worry about it, Malika. I've got a bunch of questions specifically for you, Rowan. So
Right.
but maybe if you want to jump into these two questions that we've just asked now, you're more than welcome to do that. Maybe let's start with the first one. Any one of you is welcome to tackle that one. Incomplete status that some of the applicants are seeing on online, especially on the dashboard. Tell us about it. What could be the problem? How can it be solved?
Okay. Can I start with the second question?
You're more than welcome to do
Okay.
that, and we'll come back to that one there. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. The second question was asked by Olwethu. Basically, Olwethu, can I mix with a bit of Xhosa? Because,
Yeah, Tetis Xhosa. No,
Okay.
you're also welcome to Tetis Xhosa.
Okay, thank you. I'll mix it up. I'll speak Tonglish.
There we go. That's a new
friends
one.
as well, yeah. So basically, sis, Olwethu, you're saying your status city awaiting evaluation, and your question is that ungakwazi now uya university yakho uyo-register on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So what? There's a lot of students that are actually sitting on that status awaiting evaluation. And remember, we opened application for the second period from the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And then obvious now the application must go through the machine of being kind of on the social to be evaluated and all of that. So now the application for people like Olwethu, it still need to be evaluated. But we've committed as an organization that by Friday next week, all the students would have received a response.
Oh, they will get a response from
on
that.
Friday. Because just give us a week because we're closing tomorrow. By
Right.
next week Friday, we'll respond to everybody that is applied, specifically for the universities.
Right.
If you apply to university and you submit an application to MyNSFAS, next week Friday you will get a response. We'll
Okay.
finalize all the applications because we're busy with the verifications and assessment of those applications. So once we close, then we're going to finalize all of them.
I would like
So,
to
but now for Monday,
yeah.
then,
Right.
well, what I could tell to Abantu go all the way to then is that yena just confirm ukuthi uya admit not to school, and then the funding uzoyifumana response by Friday, latest Monday, but by Friday we're going to be finalizing everything by Friday next week.
Okay, 100%.
Yes.
All right, there we go. All the way to and the first
Pendulo, you see, when an applicant is trying to submit an application, they first create an account, MyNSFAS account on the website. So then after they've created MyNSFAS account, now they then start the process of creating an application. So an application then must, for you to have completed it, you must submit it through to NSFAS, and then your status become awaiting evaluation. But it happens that, as Umpendul was saying, maybe he started the application but did not complete all the required fields or required pages.
Yeah.
And then the data will remain incomplete. But the contributing factors, it could be that maybe he's struggling, there's some information that is missing that he must go and get, or maybe he's getting some errors. So we'd like to understand what kind of errors he's getting. But that application he must try and complete. Or we only got tomorrow. I don't know whether he's applying for university or college. I think he said university.
Yeah.
So I'll suggest that he try and complete that application maybe tonight. If he can't complete, he must delete it tonight and then try and start a new one all together.
So if he does that, isn't that going to kick him out in the future? Maybe because that email address would have been registered, and it'll say email address registered or something like that.
It's unique. No, it won't kick him out. You must just delete it and then start again.
Delete it, it'll start afresh again.
Yes,
Right,
please
100%.
must do it before the closing day tomorrow.
Okay. Excellent stuff. So 0800 142 446. That's 0800 142 446. We'd like to hear from you. All right, let's go to the next question. Maybe for Malika, you can jump into this one here. So MyNSFAS has introduced a cell phone based voucher program that students can use to pay for their private accommodation, for food, for transport, and books as well. Give us a bit of a background about the initiative and how has it helped students so far.
Thank you. So the program that we use, the system that we use is called SBUX. It was launched in 2013. NSFAS started testing it, and it was given birth from the issue that NSFAS wanted to start having a direct relationship with their students. And that was the launch of the new student-centered model. When it came to discussing how we're going to disburse those allowances to students, it's when we launched SBUX. What it means is that instead of finding complicated mechanisms to get students their funds, they can get it real time via their cell phones.
Right.
It's 100% secure. It's real time as well. So when we load the allowances, the students get it basically overnight, and it's ready to spend in their accounts. And we can use those vouchers for books, allowance for their accommodation, food, and transport. Like I said, it's real-time cash. Students should be aware of that. There are security implications for them. Although it's a voucher on their cell phone, it's like cash in their wallet.
Yeah.
So a lot of what we do is trying to teach students that, this is not toy money. It's real money. Look after it, secure it, keep it safe, keep your password safe, because it can be spent real time. What MyNSFAS we particularly like about the platform as well is that the merchants that we onboard onto the system, the merchants that a student can spend at, they receive their funds from MyNSFAS also within 24 to 48 hours,
Right.
which is a huge advantage for the smaller merchants, for example, the ones selling vegetables or fruit on the road. They can't wait for quarterly payments or monthly payments. They get their monies within 24 to 48 hours.
Right. I would like to believe there's quite a number of merchants that have come on board, and really we thank them so much for making life easier for the students there. But how many of them have signed up to the program, and how's the response to this initiative from business as a whole?
We launched it in 2013, but the benefit for us right now of launching it that early was that we have the benefit of 3 years of improving the system over time. Students have taken it up quite well. Obviously, change can be resisted. It's a new thing. It's a new model that hasn't been done anywhere before. But I think that from the feedback that we're getting from students in particular is that it's very easy to use. It's also completely free for students. They don't have to pay anything to access it. All they need is access to a SIM card, a cell phone number. Also, for our merchants, they've taken up with it as well, because this is not something that we are launching just with the big players out there. We are looking at, the national footprint merchants. So we have our ShopRite, Checkers, Boxer, USave. Our big stores are all on. But we also concentrate on signing up the on-campus merchant, the cafeteria on the corner. So right now, with the 2017 rollout, we are in phase 3. We have our national footprint, so we are there. If students got the allowances today, they were able to spend it. But now we're looking at improving. So we're going around to all of the institutions, speaking with SRCs, identifying which are those stores or businesses that students want to have on the system, and we're now in the process of rolling them in as well. So where we'd like to get to in 2017 is that a student can go anywhere and spend their allowances in whichever format they get it, whether it's books, whether it's food, transport. We're looking at increasing access for the students in 2017.
Right. 29 minutes just before, or after 6 o'clock. This is a live broadcast coming to you from our studios here in Pretoria. There we go. So our studios in Pretoria here. In fact, my Cape Town studios had a bit of a flood, and that's why I've moved the program here to Pretoria. So there we go. 0800 142 446, 0800 142 446 here in Pretoria. There's a caller by the name of Elias Tian, if I'm not mistaken. Elias? Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Elias.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and yourself, sir?
Fantastic. I only have 2 questions.
Go for it, my brother.
I have a little brother who applied last year, November, and he hasn't received any correspondence from MyNSFAS. Let me first as well greet the colleagues there from MyNSFAS. I'm working for social development individual, and I'm one of the beneficiaries of MyNSFAS, I think around about 2001. But now, the frustration that we have now, we call the call center, the number is not obtainable. I think I've tried for the last 3 days, and then beginning around Monday or Friday, I called in, couldn't trace any information regarding his profile. I'm the one who sent everything. But now, what do we do as guardian of those students, because he doesn't have parents any longer?
All right, Elias, maybe stay on the line for a bit. Maybe they would like to have follow-up questions to you with regards to this, because as you're talking, I'm actually thinking when you applied, did you get a response on the screen to say your application is complete, or did you get errors or anything like that?
Okay, we tried two formats. There was an email last year of where you apply, and you send the supporting document together with the actual form. And then secondly, we tried the online one. And then the online one, it gave errors because it says profile already exists and we couldn't continue. So hence we have taken the option of sending the email. I've sent two, my wife and my little brother. My wife got a response. My little brother didn't get a response. So hence I'm asking that question. And the frustration is that the call center is not working. When you try to call it the 086, the 0860, and then the 021 as well. When you try to call them, there's no one to answer. I've tried for the last 3 days. And because I wanted to check if they managed to trace, I was told that since of the high volume, they're busy capturing. But now we are going towards the closest of fishes tomorrow, and he hasn't got any response.
Okay, and stay on the line for a bit. Elias, stay on the line for a bit. I think I've got the gist of what you're asking. Stay on the line for a bit. Would you like to respond to Elias, any of you?
Yes. Elias, hi Elias. If I understand you correctly, you're saying that basically for your brother, you had to use the manual form to apply, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm also aware that you're very much concerned that the closing date is tomorrow. But for the manual submitted application forms, we will continue to capture them. And what we're going to do, as I said earlier, we're going to be sending final responses by next week Friday. But for the manual application forms, we're going to have another week whereby we need to capture them, all of them, on our system and then evaluate them. There's a bit of a backlog on the manual application forms. So, but don't worry, if you send them that email address, they apply at MyNSFAS, we have it. We're going to capture it. Okay. We'll probably in the queue now to be captured over this weekend or next week, but we've got all of them.
Yeah, because the biggest concern is that I sent 2 applications. The other one got response, the other one didn't get response. So, and they were sent similarly at the same time. So that was the biggest challenge that I have. The other challenge is that I'm not sure if you've checked. I'm not sure if you could check the center, the call center. The number we cannot go through. We cannot speak to anyone if we have queries like this, and then both numbers.
All right. What number? Give us that number here, because as you're speaking now, we there's a number that we've got here. We'd like to compare it to the one that we have. What is the number that you've been trying?
I tried the 021. I don't have the extra number before me, and I tried the 021. I don't have the extra number before me.
Okay, Masivale, Linda. All right, I think we're getting a bit of a problem with that line here. We'll give you the number that we use. In fact, let me give it to you right now. And Elias, if you're listening, just go look for that number that you've been using and compare it to this one here. The one that we have, it's 0860 067 327. All right, that's the one that we have here, Elias. So go look for that number very quickly and maybe come back and call us and see if we can compare the two to the one that we have and the one that you have. 0860 067 327. That's the one that we have here, Elias. So, all right. So that covers that part of him not being able to go through to the call center number. But we'll definitely look at that one there. And then the no correspondence. Are you happy with that response that you gave him? Otherwise, Elias, if you're not happy, you're more than welcome to give us a call. I would like to give us other listeners a bit of a chance to come through as well. Seeing that we've got very little time.
Can I check, Karaba? Did Elias leave his details with the producers? Okay, awesome. We'll give him a call back.
Maybe let's do that. Maybe let's give Elias a call immediately after the show and follow up with him. Let's go to Cape Town, and we've got Sipho in Cape Town. Bob Sipho? Kunjani mhlekazi? Hayi ke sizafaka ebondeni naleyo ke manje sibone ukuthi singaye reset lapho Linda singabona ukuthi kwenzakala kanjani lapho. A lot of people are asking questions, and those that are outside the system, those who've completed maybe their studies. Now we're taking it to another level. But one of the biggest questions that are asked by people, maybe who've been through the NSFAS platform, is who should be applying. In fact, even those who are going through, but who should be applying for NSFAS, and how exactly does it work? How do you actually choose students? How do you approve these applications? That's one of the biggest questions that are being asked at the moment. Do you guys want to maybe jump into that while we're waiting for the other callers to come through?
Okay, I'll start with the one about who should be applying for NSFAS.
Right.
I think one of the key features of the new model is that students going forward now will apply once. So basically, if you've been funded by NSFAS in 2016, you signed a loan agreement form 2016, and your fees were paid by NSFAS, you do not need to apply for 2017. And then that's one group. And then the other group that need not to apply for NSFAS are the people that already received a qualification. If you already have a diploma or a degree, you must not apply for NSFAS because we will not reject you. We only fund the first qualification.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so if you've already been funded by NSFAS for your undergrad, you don't need to apply. However, there's a big however there. But because we do have NSF funding that is managed by NRF, National Research, it's NRF, at the National Research Fund, that funds postgraduates. So if you want them to do an honors or you want to do your master's, then you can apply via the NRF process. But for NSFAS, we fund undergrad. But for the college ones, though, remember some students, they start at the college and then they end up upgrading to university. Right. So we can fund you at the college and then fund you again at the university.
Right.
So that's basically that's the who part who can apply for NSFAS.
I've been dating the. But it looks like my plans are benefiting again.
I know, I'm going
to yeah, but it looks like it's not going to happen.
But obviously, and I'm sure you've heard on the news as well about the people that what we call the missing middle. Obviously, if you earn above certain income, chances are that you're not going to qualify for NSFAS because of the income threshold. We currently have the 122,000 threshold. If you're above that, chance of you getting funding are very slim. It's not like you're going to get funding, but they are very slim. Then it actually touches now on your second question, how we approve students. Mm-hmm. Basically, how we approve students, we look at your financial eligibility, so we means test you, and also look at your academic, and also look at the course that you are doing. And
obviously, academic, like we've said now, if it's going to be the first time if you're going into the system. Yes. That type of thing.
Yes, must actually be academically performing. We don't fund people average performance. So we need the top
Let's
student.
Understand that part. Yeah. No, it's good.
Basically, you need to be financially deserving student coming from humble beginnings. We don't like to use poor, but coming from humble big beginnings, and then obviously be academically strong, and then and also if you're doing a particular course, you stand a better chance of being funded. You can even get the bursary from NSFAS.
I'm sure somebody's saying a particular course you're saying, but give us some examples of these courses.
Okay, what I'm talking about, you're asking how do we approve? Those three tenets.
Right.
So what we do, we then assign some kind of value or a weighting to all those three. Mm-hmm. So if you financially poor, financially deserving student, there's a specific portion, like we give you 45% kind of like weighting, and also for academic 45%, and then 10% for scarce skill course. So if you're doing a scarce skill like engineering, you stand and if you do engineering and you are poor and you're academically strong, you stand a better chance of being funded by someone than someone who is doing, let's say, for instance, I don't want to say communication because I'm here.
Kick you out of my studio. That's what I'll do.
So basically, if you're doing like some other course that are scarce skill, I don't want to mention courses, but there are some those courses that are not high in terms of the labor demands in the country. So those one are not regarded as scarce skill course. So even if you are academically deserving and financially needy student, you might not get funded even though you're deserving, because the money might have run out when it got to you. So we use those three kind of like tenets to select students.
Awesome. Sipho from Cape Town is back. Thank you so much for coming back there, Sipho. So Sipho, what is your question?
Sipho from Cape Town is back. Thank you so much for coming back there, Sipho. So Sipho, what is your question?
Sipho, Sakalo Valley Radio Yako Pro. I can hear myself in the background there, Sipho.
All right. Yes, Sipho.
Yes. What is your question there? So, thank you so much for calling.
apho ngifunda khona, we sign for NSFAS with no amount stipulated. Uze kuthiwa uyashota. You don't NSFAS at you contest ukuthi uyashota kanjani, and uvele nje mangabe une questions eziningi that translate to a hearing. Yabona? So ngase kube khona ama guidelines NSFAS, but i-details zethu ziba khona, communicate even not, because this thing yokuzwa nge-college ukuthi what should happen, there are so many things that we don't believe. For instance, a friend of mine discovered ukuthi the college is claiming using his name, yet he is paying on his own. So ngase kube khona, I think they can access our emails because database yabo banazo into zethu. Even on the issues of textbook, but now we never knew ukuthi they are our own textbooks. They were always taken every year. We only discovered later that actually NSFAS has paid for our textbooks as much as you were leaving them at N4, you get others at N5, then you leave them for somebody else. So, that this is how much we have given you as NSFAS for this and that, because e-college, they don't give us that kind of an information for their own benefit.
All right. Stay on the line there, Sipo. Your questions are very interesting. Stay on the line. We might have follow-up questions. Would you like to jump in?
Okay.
I'll kick off to XC in a minute, but just for me, Sipo, this is the reason why NSFAS started the new student-centered model in the first place, and which is why we want that direct relationship with the student. We have found irregularities in the system that we are rectifying, and once NSFAS is in control of the entire process, it'll go much smoother. Obviously, XT will speak about, I'm not sure which college you're from, but textbooks, yes, is included in what NSFAS pays over to the college for our students. Signing a SOP, you're definitely not going to find that on the new student-centered model that you're going to sign an SOP without an amount. The amount is directly, it's your contract between NSFAS and the student directly, based on the courses that you're registered for and the tuition costs applicable there too. So that issue will definitely go away on the new student-centered model, because you will have your direct relationship with us as NSFAS.
Okay, just maybe if I can add, Sipone, but to see uyitye yonke uyigqibile kodwa ke mandifande onke njengotata. Into eyenzekayo ke bhuti wami the student centered model nento yakwenzeka once, I'm not sure which college, but I mean let's assume it's college X.
I'm willing to mention the college.
Yes, it's okay. Don't mention it. It's fine. So basic what's going to happen once we create your SOP, because in colleges all of them zip bursaries, as you will be aware. So once we create it for you, for your qualification, this is the amount. But for this semester, says N4, imali inansi imali zofumana i-allowance X, zofumana i-tuition mali, and uyibona na email yako all those details. And if for some reason you didn't get the email, you can call our contact center. You can get the full details of how much money is being paid for you. Okay.
All right. Are you happy, Sipo?
I am happy. Just one last thing now.
Go for it. A
very short one. With the paperwork, I'm in Cape Town, but
okay, I think okay, there we go. But I think we've helped him quite a bit there. So thank you so much, Sipo, for calling through. We really appreciate it. You know what? We've got a bit of a technical issue here, but it's not going to interfere with the show. Don't worry about it. There is a way to bypass it. So what we're going to do, normally what we do is we take callers and we take their names and their numbers before we pass them through on air. But due to the influx of callers that are coming in, we're unable to do that. So what we want to attempt to do right now is to take these callers cold. So if I take you on air, I will be asking you where you're calling from. Are you calling from a landline or cell phone? Very quickly, just respond. If you're calling from a cell phone, just mention what is your name and your question very quickly, as much as you can. Otherwise, if you're calling from a landline, then you're safe. We'll see how we can go through that. We'll try to restart the system, and we'll see how we can go through. I don't want anybody to be left out at the moment. Let's go to Pumzile. Pumzile from Tabanchu. Pumza.
Hello.
Hi, Pumzile. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
I'm good, thank you. How can we help you?
And then ik batla go botsa ka taba tsa NSFAS because last year re apply ba re sa di-form on the last day ne ka di 29. So ba ne ra university ene re batla kena ho yena ka ba re hala approve ne mabitsa rona a hlele listing ya batho ba NSFAS ba approve ne re apply hata online. Online ba tsaba re sendela message ba re submitile di-form tsa rona so ne re batla tsa fona e ka nako e kae for ba di araba because ma registerileng teng mo ba re batla ntho tsa registration because ba ha re sa itlisi by Tuesday then re lebale because ba tlo ba waiting listing hard re teng system ke se tantse ke tšhelete ya registration.
Okay, Pumzila, I don't know what happened last year. Did you apply again this year?
Yeah, I applied last year ka hard copy then this year the apply online.
Okay, so you want to know for these applications how long will they get approved, right?
Hey.
Okay. Thank you, Rausak. Thank you so much for calling through. I appreciate it. 0800 142 446. 0800 142 446. Would you like to jump in there?
Yes. I think earlier on I did
I did it now. Can't take his cause and leg.
So basically, if I heard correctly from the lady Pumzile, is that she tried to apply manually last year and then end up submitting the application online now, right?
Yes.
But now she wants to know when will she get a response because
yeah.
registration I think it's closing on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, if I got that right.
Yeah.
Yes. So basically, as I said earlier, we are aiming to provide response by Friday next week to everybody. And we are aware that some institutions are closing their registration a bit earlier, but we have spoken with most of them that all NSFAS students, since we're going to be finishing all applications by Friday next week, they need to give them a chance. So they must reserve their space if they've already been admitted, because we're going to provide all the responses by Friday.
Right.
Okay. So I mean, I know it's a 3-day kind of like a waiting period, but we're going to be providing all the answers by Friday next week.
Good stuff. Would you like to add anything?
No, not. I was just thinking about Sipo that called in earlier. I did manage to get the first part of his question before he cut off. I think he was trying to say he's in Cape Town, NSFAS office is in Cape Town, and he had paperwork. He can, if he can't get it through to us electronically, he can come and drop it off at the NSFAS head office. In fact, for the last few weeks now, heading towards closing time, our contact center has opened an informal walk-in center just to accommodate students like this who needed to drop off documents or had any of the questions. So Sipo's welcome to give us a visit and bring his paperwork, have us check it, and get a receipt that he's done so.
There we go. Okay, there we go, Sipo. Hopefully you've got to that one there. So 0800 142 446. Ifage Linda, Ifage as it is right now. 0800 142 446. That's 0800 142 446. We're going to be taking your calls right now. We're talking about all issues relating to NSFAS, and I'm just going to patch through a caller very, very quickly now. I'm wanting to hear exactly from you. What is it that you have on your mind? Okay, while we're still waiting for that, I would have thought you were going to put it through, Linda. While we're still waiting for that, and maybe let's just go on with some of the questions that people would like to ask. Some people would like to use facts. Some people would like to use posts. Maybe let's start with the facts, and let's give them the fax number. Is that the way that other people can apply?
Yes, it is. So we've opened multiple channels for students to reach NSFAS. All of our details, of course, are on our website at www.nsfas.org.za. Fax number for sending in any documents to us is 086 644 2822. You can also email us. You're at apply@nsfas.org.za. And you can post documents to us, send it courtesy of 2017 online applications, NSFAS Loans and Bursaries Department at Private Bag X4 Plumstead 7801. These are the channels that are available to students, but of course the best way is to apply online and upload your documents because it means we have it real time and no lag there.
All right. 0800 142 446. That's 0800 142 446. I'd like to hear from you. What is it? What's your concern with regards to the current application phase of NSFAS? We're going to be chatting to Bongeka from the Eastern Cape. Thank you so much, Bongeka, for your call. What's your question? Bongeka from the Eastern Cape? Okay, I think we're missing Bongeka there for a bit. Bongeka from the Eastern Cape, are you there? Okay, Bongeka is not there at the moment, so we'll try to call Bongeka back. What are some of the other technological ways in which students can be in touch with you? Do you have a Facebook page where you can communicate with students? Have you got a Twitter account where students can get in touch with you?
Yes, we do that. Our Facebook page, you will find us at MyNSFAS. Our Twitter account as well. I would also encourage students that we find have difficulty maybe reaching us electronically. A lot of the colleges and universities are assisting getting us documentation as well. So, for example, you'll have a college that will collect the applications or the forms, and they will courier to us at NSFAS in batches. So if you do struggle, you do have that option available to you as well. I'm sure that the colleges and universities will assist.
All right, 0800 142 446. Patch it through as it is. Caller, good evening to you. Who am I speaking to?
Koketo from Pretoria.
Hi, Auskoki. Thank you so much. Are you calling from a cell phone?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, very quickly, what is your question?
I have applied for UJ, okay?
Right.
So UJ, University of Johannesburg.
Uh-huh.
Okay, University of Johannesburg, I answer here because they had abundant space and a place in NSFAS for UJ. So now I have applied for University of Free State. How does this thing work? Because I've tried to change my school name, but then it doesn't wanna change. And Salaka message go Facebook, they can tweet it from thingy to UFS, but then now I'm panicking because I really don't know what's going on, and the application is like I did 29.
All right.
Okay, can I quickly ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
So, sorry, Koket. So, what's your status at UJ when it comes to NSFAS? Are you funded or are you still waiting?
I'm still waiting for thingy. Last time I checked, it said that I'm still academically evaluated.
Okay, but now you actually want to change your preferred institution to UFS, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can just leave your details and then we can get in touch with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Bongeka, Eastern Cape. There. Let's go to Ketiwe. Ketiwe is on the line. Thank you so much, Ketiwe, for your call. Ketiwe, what is your question? Ketiwe, your question? All right, I think we're missing Katie. We're there. 0800 142 446. 0800 142 446. Caller, good evening. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Katie. I'm calling from Durban.
Thank you so much, Katie. We're there. Are you calling from a cell phone or landline?
From a cell phone, but then they called me back.
Okay, 100%. What is your question?
My first question is, I would like to ask how many levels do ways in the dashboard to see whether we are going to be approved, our application is going to be approved or not. At the moment, mine says academic eligibility evaluated. So how many more must I wait for? And my second question, last time I applied to NSFAS, then they told me on the last day of registration that my application was unsuccessful. So now, if one tries to pay the rest?
Okay, I think we've got that there. I think really a bit of her questions there. So 0800 142 446. Let's answer these while you guys try to sort. Let's answer these ones there. Would you like to jump in? But I think Malika has been quiet for a bit. I think you should take this one, Malika.
It's really XT's area.
Okay.
He's the expert.
Specialist. No, that's fine. That's fine.
No, Katie, basically now when you only left with academic level evaluated. It means we've assessed now your financial and also your results. And then the next thing now is actually to determine whether we're going to be funded or not going to be funded. So that's basically the next 2 steps now. That's what's going to happen on your status. Either going to be funded or not funded. And after that, if you funded, then there will be subsequent statuses whereby now you generate your SOP or your LEF.
All right.
So you're almost there. So I think, as I said earlier, we finalize everything by Friday. By Friday, you're gonna get a response, the final response, whether you funded or you're not funded.
A panic.
Yeah, no, I can understand. Because she's saying that the question that she couldn't get across was, I think she wanted to know. She wanted us to make a decision quicker than we did in the past.
Yeah.
Whereby, there's still like a period for her to go and settle the fees herself.
All right. Hang in there. Don't worry about it. You will definitely get a response. Asimfage, 0800 142 446. Caller, good evening to you. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, I'm calling from Buchabelo.
From Buchabelo. Putso how ring me.
Sorry?
Putso how ring.
Okay. Can I apply NSFAS?
Ke tlo kopa re o buele hodimo ha ke utlwe.
Okay, ke re kana ka apply loan NSFAS.
Yeah.
So in approve ne le system e tlisa for but I just manage it.
When did you apply? O apply learning?
Oh, ke khale ke 2011.
And I saw out thola tšhelete eo.
I just manage till today.
Okay, you know what? It's going to take more than what we have now. Okay, let me put you through to our producers. We'll take your details down. I'll phone it back because I would like to engage you on this one. It might take longer than we anticipate on air. So let's do that. 0800 142 446. That's 0800 142 446. Let's take another call on the line. Let's patch another one here. A caller, good evening to you. Thank you so much for calling through. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
From Eastern Cape in Levante.
Teta nobani?
Sanelisiwe Dunyana.
Ubani?
Sanelisiwe.
Sanelisiwe. Umbuzo wakuthini sisi?
Mna ngi-apply NSFAS nge-31 kaNovemba 2016. Kodwa ngingena ku-Google ndafumaniseka ukuba makuthiwa nje kwi-NN News ngi-apply NN News. Xa ndifika phaya kodwa ndisazobhala i-test ngoba ngithathe NN News. So kodwa ndisazobhala le test. Unubuza ngoba NSFAS ubeyifumane i-application now.
Ofuna ubuza ukuthi bayifumane i-application yakho?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So applying njani Sanelisiwe manual form okanye online on the 30th of November? We submit the application form manually okanye apply online?
I think
online.
But what's your status? What does the status say now when you go to your account?
Okay, all right. Okay, let's. You see, we're just battling with the lines, and hence we're doing this. I don't know. Let me just check with my producers. We've got about 10 minutes to go. Should we go back to the first way of doing it, or do you want to take it this way? All right, let's do this. I'm very wary of asking people their phone numbers on air because that's what I would have done. Maybe as a caller, just come through, ask your question very quickly so that if you get cut off, at least we can answer to your question. 0800 142 446. Caller, what is your name? Where are you calling from? What is your question?
Wa
apply le jwang? Or apply le online or manual? Was it online or manual? Or apply le yang? Or apply le mo computing? Or apply le ga dipampiri?
All
right. The Bambira Basari capture ne? Would you like to maybe just explain a little bit more in terms of manual applications?
Yes, but I mean, have you received that? So if many don't take a response, so it only response with the application to receive man or not? Sorry.
Okay.
All right. I think that's line. How much? Can we take that number down? Like to. Yeah. There we go. I think that's line 1 there, Linda. So there we go. Take that line. Take that number down. Let's move on to the next question. Really, I'm trying to get as many people as we can and answer as many questions as we can. Hence, I'm doing this. Caller, good evening to you. What is your question?
Last year for NSFAS, but then I see last year ke 23 tsa December ba sendetse SMS ba batla mpolela go bang approve le ya since now I think ke create response and then the registration ko university di buletswe Monday and it's a khali dia tsona so ha ke na tšhelete ya go register so ke batla go itse go ba go araba leng.
All right. Or apply the manual or online?
No, basically, sorry.
Manual and online also.
Oh,
okay. Okay, I didn't get the name, but I think, but we're gonna be responding the latest Friday next week, my sister. You will totally respond, and we've spoken to universities that they need to allow you guys to kind of like to keep your spaces so that if you get funded, they still allow you to register. But the date is when is next week Friday. All of you gonna get responses, positive or negative.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. All the best to you. Next caller. Caller, good evening to you. You're on air. What is your question?
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, and you? Ask your question quickly.
Okay. I did not apply for funding, but I have an email, and this person with my name, we have the same name, all her details have been sent to me. And I've been trying to get hold of this person. I've called MyNSFAS, and I'm unable to get assistance. How can they assist me? Because I'm sure this person is looking for their reference number, is looking for this information that they're sending through to my email. And I'm not able to assist this person. How can they assist me?
Okay, definitely we'll try to help you on that one there. My producers are going to take your details and get back to you. I think that's on line 3, if I'm not mistaken there. Linda, is it line 3? No, I think it's line 3. So we'll take your details down. Thank you so much for calling through. 0800 142 446. We've got about 4 minutes to go. Caller, good evening to you. What is your question? Problem how are you that? Lebs, put how are you that?
Construction, come on, someone get a big so I get a big if you say to a message out last year. So if you say to a message last year, we are told to go to we are to Gascono apply and as fast come on summer. School is on us saying the format I want to be below our below Baza. So this year you go to
Lebohang, get to your Lebohang, listen to me. Get to your question quickly. Arana bro Rabatonka as many callers as we can, got the small amount of time here than Leona. Poto ya how earring.
Okay, Nikki, put a couple of na Gakona apply and as fast I get go TV go to I get
the third trimester. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you so much. We've got that. Would you like to respond to that quickly?
Can I repeat it?
Lebs, Agro, or can we apply for NSFAS Halugo TVET? Can he apply for NSFAS funding while he's at TVET college? And I think when he's at the level that he's at.
Yes. Yeah, he can apply. Yes, you can apply, brother.
All right, there we go. That's simple as that. 0800 142 446. Next caller. Caller, good evening to you. You're on the line. What is your question?
My question is, what if your parents, you have two parents, one is not working and the other is working for the government? So do I qualify for NSFAS? And the second question is that if like I have a late, like if I apply for TVET college ka June, do I still do NSFAS still open then?
All right, thank you so much there. Let's start with the second question.
Yeah, the second question, which is basically the second semester 2017. Yes, we will open applications for TVETs in the second trimester and the second semester. So there will be another application window. Then your first question, if you got one parent is not working, one is working, submit your application. Then we'll assess that application, and then you might qualify or might not qualify because you don't know the income. You need to produce all the salary, the pay slips and stuff, and then we'll look at and assess the form.
Okay, so it's going to be purely based on salary, how much the household is getting.
Household income,
whether or not somebody's parents are working for government or private sector, that's regardless.
Yes,
it's the how much that's coming into the home that's important. Yes. So there we go. 0800 142 446. Last caller there, Linda. 0800 142 446. Let's take the last caller if we can.
Hello.
Yes, what is your question?
Well, ngasabuza uba ngaba NSFAS ngaba uyifumene le application yam.
Mthetha dobani?
Unelisiwe.
Nelsiwe, how did you apply and what was the status that you received when you applied? Nelsiwe?
I'm still bengingakhatha ku-NSFAS kusefuna ndiyobhala i-asset assessment test.
Back. Okay. Ubuqhawukile nesisi ne? Lwasemapondweni. Mamela, so you said you're applying at 30th of November, but the question is that did you apply online?
Yes.
And then it is status online when you go and check your status.
It is still an asset assessment.
Oh, okay. No, as I said earlier, then we're gonna finalize all applications by Friday, so you'll get your response next week Friday. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
But keep on checking your account on your account.
So.
All right, so there we go, and that's how we're gonna wrap it up. But you know, it looks like we've got quite a lot of people calling in, and quite a lot of people who've got questions with regards to this. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you the toll-free number that you can, the number really, the contact center number. Let me put it that way, that you can use if you've got any further questions with regards to what we spoke about this evening. And this is very easy. It's 08600 673 27. All right. 08600 673 27. That's the number to use. Let me say it one more time. 08600 673 27. Otherwise, if you would like to send in an email there, maybe with a question, you can send it to info@nsfas.org.za. So it's NSFAS, info@nsfas.org.za, and that way you can be assisted there. Obviously, fraudulent activities that are happening all over, and if you do know of any and you would like to report those, we'd like to encourage you to do that, and to go ahead and do that. Here's a toll-free number to report any fraudulent activities that you might be witnessing around you. 0800 203 900. That's 0800 203 900. Some people are battling with calling in, and maybe they don't have enough airtime and that type of thing. We do have a callback facility that we would like to encourage you to use as well, and it's as follows. It's 072 595 9139. Okay, that's a callback facility that we have. We would like to encourage you to use it. That's 072 595 9139. That's as listed here. Thank you so much to the guests for this evening for coming through. I really, really appreciate it. You see, I did get your surname correct. You thought I was going to mess it up. I did not. So thank you so much to our guests for this evening for coming through. I really appreciate it. That's Mr. Kanti Kungeki. There we go. And he puts a smile on his face as I say that.
He doesn't smile often, Karabo.
And geez, really, eh? I must get an award to make him smile there. And as well as Miss Malikam Hildebrand for coming through. Obviously, the guys coming from NSFAS. Thank you so much to all the community radio stations that have partnered with us for this evening. And all the best to all the students that are applying for funding to NSFAS. And we really like to thank NSFAS for the wonderful job they're doing. I'm a product of NSFAS, by the way, and I will always say that. So from myself, Karabo Lance, thank you so much. Let's meet again next time. Yeah, there we go. Thank you so much. Ciao.